If you're finding this lesson valuable, you can take your expertise to the next level. Join over 27,000 students at the Institute of Professional Psychology and earn your professional certification in this field. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to access the full curriculum, workbooks, and your accredited credential. Let's get back to the lesson.
As we delve deeper into the theoretical underpinnings of acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, it's essential to understand relational frame theory, RFT. RFT is a theory of language and cognition that forms the core scientific basis for ACT. It provides a framework for understanding how humans learn language and how language influences and interacts with psychological processes. What is relational frame theory? Relational frame theory proposes that the ability to relate events mutually and in combination with one another is learned behavior and lies at the core of language and human cognition. This theory suggests that the key unit of language is not words or meanings themselves, but the relationships between these. For example, a child learns not only that the word cat refers to a particular animal, but also how this word can relate to other words and concepts in numerous ways. Bigger than a mouse, smaller than a dog, different from a car. How RFT relates to psychological flexibility. One of the most impactful insights from RFT is the understanding that humans can relate anything to anything else in virtually limitless ways, and this can be both an advantage and a source of suffering. For example, if someone is taught to relate their self-worth to their job performance, failures at work may be interpreted as personal inadequacies. This type of thinking pattern can lead to rigid mental behaviors that RFT and ACT aim to address. RFT explains why language can trap us in unhelpful patterns of behavior. It suggests that psychological suffering often arises not directly from the situations we encounter, but from the inflexible rules created by our relational frames. These are the shoulds and musts that dictate how we interpret our experiences. The role of RFT and ACT. In ACT, RFT principles are used to help clients understand how their language traps, e.g. self-defeating narratives, destructive labels, maintain their issues, and how they can develop more flexible ways of relating to their thoughts. Techniques based on RFT, such as cognitive diffusion, are employed to weaken the influence of harmful thoughts and help individuals engage with their experiences more directly and openly. Cognitive diffusion techniques, for instance, encourage distancing from thoughts by altering the context in which they are understood. For example, repeating a worrisome thought aloud until it loses its meaning, or visualizing thoughts as leaves floating down a stream, helps to see these thoughts as merely words, rather than truths that must be acted upon. Understanding and applying RFT can significantly enhance therapeutic practice. Therapists can teach clients to notice when they are entangled in their thoughts and to remember that these are just one of many possible perspectives. This awareness is critical for fostering psychological flexibility and helping clients to choose how they respond to their thoughts and feelings, rather than being automatically controlled by them. By understanding these foundational theories, therapists can more effectively implement AT to aid their clients in leading more psychologically flexible and fulfilling lives. In our exploration of the theoretical foundations of acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, we've already discussed relational frame theory, RFT, and its implications for understanding the nature of human language and cognition. Now let's turn our attention to another critical aspect that shapes ACT, functional contextualism. This philosophy not only underpins ACT, but also provides a comprehensive approach to understanding human behavior in a broader context. Functional contextualism is a philosophical approach that focuses on the function of human actions and the context in which they occur. It's concerned with predicting and influencing psychological events, including thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, with precision, scope, and depth. This philosophy suggests that the value of a given thought or behavior can only be understood in terms of its effectiveness in achieving specific goals within a particular context. Functional contextualism is employed to assess the usefulness of a person's actions in relation to their stated values and goals. It emphasizes the importance of understanding not just what is happening or what is being thought, but why something is happening or why a thought is occurring in the specific context of that individual's experiences. Integration of functional contextualism in ACT. Functional contextualism informs every aspect of ACT by encouraging a focus on observable outcomes in therapy. Rather than simply reducing symptoms, ACT uses this approach to help clients build lives that are rich and meaningful based on their values. This is accomplished by identifying contextual factors. Therapists help clients identify the contexts that trigger unhelpful thoughts or behaviors and explore how different contexts can lead to different outcomes. Analyzing the function of behavior. Clients learn to recognize the function that specific behaviors serve in their lives, such as how avoidance behaviors might temporarily reduce anxiety, but prevent meaningful engagement with life in the long term. Goal-oriented changes. Changes are encouraged not just for the sake of change, but to align more closely with the client's chosen values and to effectively move toward their goals within their specific life context. Practical applications in therapy. For instance, a therapist might work with a client who is struggling with social anxiety. Through the lens of functional contextualism, the therapist would help the client explore how avoiding social situations serves the function of reducing immediate feelings of anxiety, but also prevents the client from forming meaningful relationships, which is a key value for them. By understanding this context, the therapist can guide the client toward more effective behaviors, such as gradually facing feared situations while using ACT techniques to manage anxiety. This approach helps clients see their behaviors as choices within a context, rather than as fixed responses. It empowers them to make changes that are not only about reducing symptoms, but are also about enhancing their overall quality of life, according to what is most meaningful to them. By integrating functional contextualism, FT provides a flexible, dynamic framework that adapts to the unique needs of each individual. It allows for a holistic understanding of behavior and thought, which is essential for effective therapeutic intervention. In the next lessons, we will see how these foundational theories are applied through specific ACT techniques and processes, helping clients achieve greater psychological flexibility and life satisfaction.